So I realized something recently. While I was driving to the gym, I saw a homeless guy, as you do in South Africa. And a thought just came to me. How many times does he have the opportunity to fail and then try again? Because me and you, if you're watching this, right? Me and you have infinite amount of opportunities to try and fail and still try again. I have failed probably more than 10,000 times. And I'm still okay. I have the opportunity to fail an infinite amount of times and still try again. Now that guy on the street, how many times does he have? How many tries does he have before he can't try again? It might be money issues. He may have an amputated leg, you know? He might have some kind of disease that he can't cure. People don't take shit seriously. They take everything for granted. When they fail, and this is me included, like this was me when I failed a certain amount of times, even one time, I'd immediately go down the rabbit hole of negativity and be like, I'm a loser, I'm stupid. Why can't I get this? Why am I not strong enough? Why am I not smart enough? How many times must I do this before I get it right? But the minute you step back, you take a step back, and you realize that, and this is very cliche to say, but failure is a learning opportunity, everything changes. And I'm not saying, it isn't a thing about telling yourself that. You can't tell yourself it's just a learning opportunity. Next time will be better. You can tell that. You can think it. But you need to feel it. You need to feel the acceptance of your flaws and be like, okay, I've actually learned this time. The minute you're okay with what's wrong with you is the minute everything opens up. And the guy on the street, he I don't think he even has the possibility to come to this realization. Where I am right now, I have these big plans, these big dreams of the future. This guy on the street, if he knew how I lived, he'd say, you know what, that's how I want to die. That's how I'm living right now is how he wants to live at the end of his life, most likely. I have a bed, I live in a house, I have pets, I have two loving parents, I have enough money to be comfortable. Like, I have everything you could possibly need. And I'm only now being so grateful for it. I've gotten to a point now. Today has been my first complete day off since Sunday, because I've had orientation week at my university, and finally I've done everything in my morning routine. Right? I made a YouTube video. I made a TikTok video. I'm making another YouTube video. I read, made my bed, did some cardio. I'm gonna go to gym later. I didn't give up because of the last couple days where I couldn't do everything, right? What I talked about is you get 10% better, then you get 3% worse, and you stay at 107%, right? Which is still 7% better of where you were. And then when you get the time or you get the spark of motivation, then you can go to 115, and then you go down to 112 or something. And then you go up to 120, and then you go down to 115 or 18, 70. You know, it doesn't have to be linear. And I'm in a position for it not to be linear. It doesn't have to be linear. And it's never linear. But I have the opportunity to stagnate in a better place than I was stagnating before. And not many people understand that that's what they have. It's a beautiful feeling when you realize you can fuck everything up and your parents will probably still love you. They'll probably still let you sleep at night at their place. They'll probably still make you dinner. Or your friends will, or your grandma will. If you have someone who's willing to look after you, what more do you need? I wrote a whole bunch of things down in my notes because these are over the last couple of days, so I can't remember them. And another thing I've realized, completely different topic now, but my attention span hasn't gotten worse, but I've realized how bad it is. And I need to genuinely go sit in a park or something for like 10 to 15 minutes a day and just do fuck all. Just do nothing. Nothing. No dopamine. Just sit there, be quiet, and think, and be bored. I need to be bored again. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Because I've decided now that I need to prioritize one thing on my list of what I need to do so that that one thing can become an actual habit. Like, theoretically, in my journal, I don't even have to put down making my bed, brushing my teeth, going to gym, and going for cardio, right? I don't need to. I do those naturally now. So they don't even need to be in my journal. I just add them anyways. But I need to do that for, like, sitting still for 15 minutes and doing nothing. I need to do that for meditation. I need to do that for reading, right? I need to prioritize that and forget everything else. Because I'm already doing a lot of new stuff. So I really don't have to think about it. And again, it's not going to be in a forceful way. I am going to prioritize it. But who cares if for 2 days I don't do it? Who cares? I'll just do it again. I'll start again. I'll try again. Because I have the opportunity to do that. I won't be judged if I fail. My life won't go to shit if I fail. It isn't a risk. There is zero risk to doing this. And the person on the street can't say that. They can't say that. I'm in a risk-free environment. And I'm only now taking the opportunity to do everything I can to make my life better. And to make others' lives better. I hate when my phone keeps turning off. And one thing that I feel like people don't do enough is speaking out loud to themselves. Because have you ever tried to think positively and then within like a millisecond, your mind will start thinking negatively and you're like, no, we need to think positively. What are you doing, right? But you can't help it. It's like, don't think of an elephant. You can't not think of an elephant. But what changes when you speak out loud is you have to speak coherently. If you start off the sentence positively, you're probably going to finish it positively, right? If I say I'm a good person, the next thing I'm thinking of is a positive attribute that I can give myself. To be your biggest supporter, you need to speak out loud. Your voice needs to be coming from essentially another person. You're speaking to yourself in the third person. So essentially you are another person speaking to you. And that's how you need to do it. Imagine your best friend, right? Imagine your best friend saying this shit to you. Just imagine that. But say it out loud. Say it out loud. Say you're a hard worker. Say you're honest. Say you're trying your best. You are doing your best. You feel good. And it's so easy to carry on being positive after that. But the minute you get trapped in your head, and then you start stressing, and then there's anxiety for no reason, for absolutely no reason. But when you just, and now I can hear my computer, now I can hear the wind outside, the leaves rustling. And then I just think life is beautiful. The minute I stop thinking, and it takes practice, that's the whole point of meditation. It takes practice. But now I can speak to myself confidently. I feel confident. I feel good. And of course, I'm not saying you won't feel bad. Of course I feel bad sometimes. But it's how you deal with it. There's two ways of taking the statement, you are not special. Right? One could be in a negative light, where you think, I'm not special. I'm destined to be ordinary. Or, you're not special, and every problem you've had, someone else has had. And you probably both have had the opportunity to work through it. And what are you going to do about it? To be your biggest supporter, you need to be outspoken. You can't think it. You can't trust your brain. You genuinely cannot. It will do everything in its power to conserve energy. And that means beating your self-identity into a pulp so you stay in the same place and you don't change. So speak. Speak words. Say beautiful things. It feels so much better. Oh shit, this was a big one. So here's a little fun fact. is I think in Japan, train attendants would get into the habit of pointing everything out. They're genuinely pointing it. They'll do, the train's departing. The woman is getting on the train. I see the train. There's a child on the train tracks. Evan is like, whoa. Child on the train tracks. They've pointed it out immediately. Other people heard them. They were quicker to react, and they were quicker to form a plan. The minute you start speaking out loud to yourself, the quicker you can catch negative self-talk and negative self-thinking. Because if you think something and then you reply to yourself out loud, you start seeing how badly you think about yourself. When you think about something and then replay back what you said about yourself and then respond, speaking out loud, you immediately pick up the issue and you immediately start thinking about how you can fix it. And I think that's beautiful. The quicker you are to realize that what you're doing and what you're saying is self-deprecation, the quicker you could fix it. And that is all from me. I recorded very early because my mom is out. So, cheers, guys.